All right. Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to your weekly focus. I'm Russ McCann. I'm going to be your host today. And if this is your first time joining us on Friday morning at 10 o'clock, we do this every Friday. We're certainly excited that you've found your way to us. You know, we've been doing this really a couple of years now. This is episode number 64. It's hard to believe that we've been doing this for 64 episodes. We've been super excited. There's a lot going on. This is an amazing time of the year, but I wanted to just let you know that during our broadcast today, we're going to really bring it home for you. We're going to really provide some value to you to help you during the holidays. But before we get to that, I want to let you know a couple of housekeeping things. This is an interactive experience, so feel free to, in the comment section below, let me know where you're coming in from. And hey, there you go. Cherie made it, right? Happy Friday to you too, my dear. Super excited that you've decided to join us. So if you are all joining us live, make sure you drop in the comments. That way we can interact with each other. And I always love that part of our Friday weekly focus is when we get a chance to really connect with each other on a meaningful level. So make sure that you do that. So if you, if you're like many of us, this is the time of the year that is both joyful and exciting, and then also it can be a little stressful. And so we put together this 7-week series. We're going to really focus on really amping up your holidays, amping up your game so that you can live an amazing life and enjoy this really, really fun holiday season. So this 7-week series that we introduced last week is really about creating some positive mindset, really having some meaning and purpose and making progress on improving yourself each and every day. As many of you know, I'm a certified health coach and I help people with every aspect of health. We focus on, reaching a healthy weight and developing some great physical fitness habits, really having a great mindset, finding things that find you joy so that you have a positive outlook. And overall, I want everyone to just live a healthy, thriving life. There were so many years where I was a spectator in my own skin. I was watching everybody else have a lot of fun and 85 pounds overweight. And I found myself going into the holidays back in 2007. And I said, look, I'm going to do something about that. And so our conversation today is going to be centered around staying intentional, which is balancing all the priorities that you have in life during the holidays. And so hopefully by the time we get done today, you're going to have some really great takeaways and value. So again, remember, this is an interactive experience. So make sure that I know that sounds very dramatic. This is an interactive experience, right? So make sure that you use the comment section as we get going this morning. So I wanted to just kind of, I know this is Thanksgiving week, right? We're rolling into Thanksgiving week and we're already in Christmas mode. And the reason I brought that up is just a couple of quick things. Many times the holidays can create a sense of emotions. Maybe I know both Denise and I have some stuff that happened in the month of October, very tragic things that happened in the month of October. So that's the time of the year where the trees start changing color and the leaves start hitting the ground, and it triggers a response. And so many years ago, as Denise and I were building our relationship together, we've been together over 15 years, the love of my life for sure. And Denise and I made it our mission to decorate early for Christmas. So in most years, right after Halloween, we're starting to pull out the Christmas decorations as a way of taking back the holidays and taking back this time of the year. And I remember, back many years ago when I had my own personal experiences and things going on, and I know Denise, I remember those first Thanksgivings without a loved one or without family. I remember those first Christmases. And so this can be a really emotional time for a lot of people. Not to mention sometimes when we get together with family, I don't know about you, but there's always that family member that kind of creates a little anxiety, a little bit of extra drama at the Thanksgiving table. And so, this is a fun time of the year, and we're going to really focus on that. But I want to be mindful that people do have some struggles this time of the year as well. So just to share with you a quick story about our decorations here. So Denise and I, normally Denise is kind of a homebody, and I go out and I interact with the world, meaning Costco, right? Denise is an Amazon kind of girl, and I'm a Costco kind of guy. And so I do most of the shopping at Costco. And so one year, a couple of years ago, Denise and I went to Costco. And we were going because Denise needed to get a new lens in her glasses. And so we went to go take care of that. And she says, "While I'm here, let's go walk around a little bit." So there were a couple of things going on. One is she's always wanted these light up reindeer to put in the front yard, and they had them, and we loaded them up on the big cart, and we were headed for the checkout stand. And all of a sudden, Denise saw these big, huge nutcrackers. I'm sure if you've been to Costco, you've seen these. And so Denise goes, "Oh, wouldn't that look really good on either side of our front door?" And so what happened was they only had one left. And so we put that one on the cart with the reindeer. And then we went up to the counter and they found another one in another Costco about 45 minutes away. And they only had one left. So anyway, we loaded up the car. It took me 2 trips to bring the reindeer and the one nutcracker back to the house. And then I headed off to this other town, Roseville, California, and I went and picked up the other nutcracker. So just so you know, we've named our nutcrackers for those of you that, were wondering, right? The guy on the left is Grant, and the one on the right is Everett. And Scarlett and Levi, our grandchildren, named them. And so we are very careful to make sure we don't mix them up because they are identical twins. So Grant and Everett flank the door. These are the reindeer I was telling you about. This is kind of what started the whole thing. And so we made a rule that Denise cannot go with me to Costco during Christmas, and unless she's blindfolded, right? So anyway, we had a good time, and it makes for a really fun story. We went last weekend. We had a couple of the grandkids over, and then on Sunday we decorated the house for Christmas. So I know it's Thanksgiving. We don't really have Thanksgiving decorations. We go straight from Halloween to Christmas, and we started by putting up the tree and bringing out the pillows and hanging the stockings. But needless to say, we love Christmas and what Christmas brings. And anyway, hopefully you're getting ready for an amazing holiday season. Thanksgiving's coming up. It's always a good time. I love the turkey and mashed potatoes. And we've actually switched out some of the traditional foods at Thanksgiving. I know there's a cornbread stuffing that people love, and then there's the traditional breadcrumb stuffing, stovetop for some, right? But others, it's kind of a traditional recipe. And we've actually created an amazing cauliflower stuffing recipe that has all of the traditional spices and flavors, but instead of breadcrumbs, we're using cauliflower. And just so you know, I'm going to share at the end a way that you can get some of our holiday recipes for next week that might be able to help you. So I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of navigating the holidays a little bit as we set up this 7-week series. And, this is, like I said, a time of the year where we're kind of trying to juggle all the things that are going on, the budget, the gifts, the personalities, the people, and sometimes it can be really stressful. And we're gonna flip that script a little bit. We're gonna give you back the power so that you can enjoy the holidays in a meaningful way. And so it really starts with kind of what's important to you, right? So think about the things over the holidays that really mean a lot to you. And so you probably have some core principles. Maybe you have some traditions. But the core principles that most of us have centered around the holidays are family, right? Friends, faith, health, whatever these core values, making connections, right? Having meaningful relationships with people, being nice and friendly. These are the core values that really bring us a lot of joy. And quite frankly, these are the core values that most of us have that we find joy in. But I want you to kind of ask yourself a couple of questions as we go through our live this morning. And again, feel free to drop in the comments. Oh, yeah. All right, so I'm going to bring this up before we get too far into it. Cherie says, she's a Southern gal, cornbread and sausage stuffing for you, right? So Cherie, that sounds really delicious. Maybe we could throw in a little sausage with the cauliflower stuffing recipe, but I love that. But I want you to ask yourself a couple of questions. One is, what do I want the holiday season to feel like? In other words, what do you want it to feel like, and what memories do you want to create? So these are kind of the core questions about, okay, we got the holidays coming up. Really, what do I want them to look like? And like I said, some of it's surrounding yourself with family and friends, and sometimes it's good food and really having meaningful connections. But if we don't have a plan, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, if we don't have a plan going into the holidays, pretty soon we get to the end of the holidays and we go, man, that was hectic. That was rough. And we want to make sure that you focus on having a quality time over the holidays rather than trying to pack in too much. I think that's probably the big thing that a lot of us do is we get so caught up in the shopping and the wrapping and the holiday parties and all those kind of things that we just get overwhelmed. And I could just share with you, one of my best tips during the holidays is less is more. Find a couple things that you want to do this year that really mean something to you, plan those out and do those. But feel free to say no to some of those things. So maybe you have a holiday party, maybe it's the work party, right? That brings you a lot of anxiety because there's people there that maybe stress you out, or maybe there's people in your past life that kind of come to the surface back in the holidays. And so maybe there's that event that really causes you a lot of anxiety. And guess what? I give you the power today to say, no, I'm not going this year. And don't feel bad about it. Just say, no, I mean, I'm going to do the things that are important to me and really make those things a priority. And, if family is your priority, schedule meaningful time with your family, and go do those things that align with that desire and goal. And so the other thing that we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks is around time and time management, right? And so this is really a critical skill, especially during the holidays. Take advantage of the time that you have and make sure that you do all the things that you want to do, but also set aside time for yourself, right? So this is a fun time, but we want to make sure that we don't get so caught up in the day-to-day activities that we just stress ourselves out to the max. So as we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, when we talked about time management, is the skill of time blocking. So we have a time blocking planner, and if you missed that episode and you want to get it, just drop me a comment or an email or a chat or a note, or find me on Facebook and just say, hey, I would love that time blocking worksheet. I'll make sure that you get it. And plan out your day, your week, maybe even your month in advance, but really schedule it down to the things that are important to you. So if going to the gym 3 days a week is important to you, put that on your time blocking schedule. If setting aside time for your significant other, your spouse, the person in your life that means the most to you, and you want to do a date night, schedule date night. If you have work hours and you have other activities that need to get done during the week, shopping and decorating and preparing those Thanksgiving meals and whatever, block that out and realize that you're in control of that schedule. And if there are things that you just don't have time to get done, then guess what? Something has to come off that list. I know Denise loves the holidays because she gets to bake for the family. We don't do a lot of baking because things like bread and sugar and flour don't really help my waistline all that much. So we really don't eat a lot of those kind of foods. But this is the time of the year where Denise likes to prepare those foods and take them, to the holiday meals. And you know what? Sometimes she'll have this long list of things that she wants to bake and make and whatever. And I'll say, look, you're doing too much, hon. Do maybe just the pumpkin pie, or maybe just do the holiday cheesecake, but don't do the cake and the cookies and the pie and the mashed potatoes and all. We can divide that up. And so feel free that as you're going through and taking advantage of this time blocking worksheet, to say no to some of the things that just don't need to get done. We don't need 9 desserts at Thanksgiving, maybe even 1. And there's some really great healthy options out there too for those of you that are watching your waistline. But just say no gracefully. Just say, I'd love to bring a few of those things, but I really only have time for the pumpkin pie and mashed potatoes. Is it okay? Maybe we can find somebody else to bring some of those other things. So, and then delegate. For those of us that have children, we've got 5 kids between the two of us. We can delegate and share that workload. And I know what's great about Thanksgiving is I know the invitations went out to the people that are going to Thanksgiving dinner over at my sister-in-law's house, Jill, down in San Ramon, California. She put out a list, and everybody that's coming is delegated a certain item on the menu so that, again, we get to share the workload rather than being overwhelmed. And it's okay if you just take a break and pause too. Plan enough days ahead of time. Maybe there's some of those things that don't need to be done the day before. Maybe they can be done 2 days before. But feel free that you have the power to pause. Take a couple of seconds and just stop. Wow, take a deep breath and challenge what it is you want and what are your core values and what do you want that holiday to look like? And then choose the things that bring you joy so that you don't become overwhelmed. So, I mean, that's just super, super important. So the question is, do you have a holiday plan? This is something that I think can be really, really helpful. A clear plan of what it is you want to do so that you keep the season joyful and really balanced. And what I want to do is just kind of share with you some tips for creating a holiday plan. So first off, write down the top 3 priorities that you have for this season. Is it time with family? Is it time with friends? Is it baking for the neighborhood? That's another thing that we love to do, is to kind of take little things to the neighbor and thank them for being such a great neighbor. So whatever it is, write down those 3 priorities that you want to accomplish for this season. List out those traditions and activities that bring you joy. And you know what? Eliminate the things that cause you unnecessary stress. So when you're creating those 3 priorities, make sure that you also go, this thing brings me stress. I'm going to take that off my list. And I'm not going to dedicate any time and energy to the negativity or that stressful situation, because you know what? I'm just not going to let it affect me this year. So I just want to, and I love that, Cherie, you're making a list and asking people to pick one and bring that thing is really the way to go. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Find other people that can help you get things done. And you know what? It's a lot more fun when we get to try other people's treats and cookies and family meals and traditions. And you know what? Make that list, divide it out, and delegate that activity. So again, the holiday season is really what you make it, what matters most to you. And keep it simple. Come up with a plan. Write down the things that you want to focus on, and really make sure that you eliminate the things that find you stress, and align your core values with what it is you want to see and accomplish. So, I just want to say this is a really, really fun time of the year if we make it that. So, we've got a couple of things that we've talked about. Develop a list of the things that bring you joy, 2 to 3 things that you want to focus on this season. Set aside the time to do those things. Reach out to the people that are important to you and make those coffee dates and get together. Invite a few people over to your home. Light a fireplace. Light the fire in the fireplace and just really spend time with the people that matter most to you. So, I kind of started this a little bit on a downer because, both Denise and I have some things over the holidays. I don't know, anybody out there ever had, a divorce or lost a loved one going into the holidays, somebody that passes away or whatever. And so sometimes this time of the year can create a lot of anxiety. And hopefully the tips that we've shared with you today will take away some of that anxiety. But just to understand that these moments in time over time pass, as long as you're committed to surrounding yourself with the people that lift you up and that you enjoy the most. So don't feel like you have to surround yourself with people because that's traditional people that are going to create and cause you anxiety. As I mentioned, you have the power to say no, and feel free to do that. So, wow. We covered a lot of ground today, and hopefully it was practical for you. Hopefully you have something to take away and do going into Thanksgiving week. And then guess what? We roll right into the Christmas season. We're actually, we've done most of our shopping, thank goodness, to Amazon. And everything's wrapped and underneath the tree. I think we only have a couple gifts to do. So I would imagine another tip is to kind of get some of these things done, these tasks done ahead of time, so that you can enjoy the time that you have with family. I know when you're preparing meals, sometimes you can get caught up in the creating and the baking, and then that we just don't spend time with family. So where you can, do some of those recipes ahead of time. Find something that you can easily just pop in the oven right before the main meal, and don't get so caught up in the activity in the list. So needless to say, I just want to say thank you for being a part of my Friday Lives. Cherie, I know you're always with me live. Luana, I know you're always watching. And I would just encourage you to put this on your calendar. Feel free to share this, by the way. We do an event page on Facebook. And so you can always go to the event page and share that link. And then over on YouTube, you can find our YouTube channel. And in YouTube, literally you can find all of the past episodes. Really the key here on YouTube is go to YouTube. It's youtube.com/@RussMcCann. Hit the big subscribe button right in the middle of the podcast page. So make sure that you do that. As I've been mentioning over the last couple of weeks, we created a habit assessment for those of you that have been following along in our habit series in terms of creating new life habits that really enhance your life, organize your life around those things that matter most to you, and creating new daily habits to replace some of the bad habits. A lot of the bad habits are around just poor time management. So today's exercise has been really good. But we created a free daily health assessment that goes through every aspect of life, physical health, financial health, mental health, really every aspect, and really help develop an assessment so that you can evaluate where you are in creating good daily habits that enhance your life. And so feel free to go to habits.yourweeklyfocus.com and fill out the assessment. It'll give you a score and rate you on where you stand. It might be able to give you some ideas to also improve on some of the habits that make up your life. And then the other thing that we've added this week is we are going to put out a Your Weekly Focus newsletter centered around health, mindset, some great tips, some practical tips on goal setting to enhance your life. And so that first weekly newsletter will be going out the start of next week. And I'm going to include in that some really great holiday recipes that I know you're going to love. Some of them are just really focused on health, like that cauliflower stuffing recipe. Others are a little bit more traditional. And so, but needless to say, I'd love for you to take advantage of the newsletter that we're going to be putting together. So there's two ways to do it. You can go to newsletter.yourweeklyfocus.com, or right now, grab your phone, scan the QR code that's on the screen, and then sign up to get our weekly newsletter. I promise we're not going to bombard you with a bunch of marketing material. It's simply some tips and some strategies. You're going to find some articles, just things that we feel that can improve your life. And that's really what the weekly focus is all about, is to help you focus on the things that matter most to you. So feel free to join and sign up for our weekly newsletter. So anyway, wow, that's been fun. How about you? Have you guys enjoyed our time together? So if you've been with us live and interacting with us on screen, thank you for doing that. If you are watching this in recording, please take advantage of the comment section. I look at every comment and I respond to every comment or question. So if we can help you in any way, please feel free to reach out to us and be part of the interactive experience. I'm 66 years old. I was a former vice president for a Fortune 100 food distribution company. I spent 35 years in the restaurant business. The last 18 years, I've been a certified coach, and I've got lots of life experiences that I can pass along and help you enhance your life. So if we can be of service to you and help to you, feel free to reach out to us. Many people reach out to us to reach a healthy weight and to develop some new healthy habits. If we can help you do that, please feel free to reach out. There's never any pressure. We just basically teach you some good healthy habits that you can apply each and every day. So before I turn you loose, I do want to pull up Cherie's comment here, and it says, let's see, my late BFF's birthday is on the 22nd. And there are just so many great memories that make up the holidays. But I try to make it a time of honor for her instead. So yeah, this is a really great time of the year. Both we have things that bring us joy and we have things that bring us sadness. But it's really what we make it, isn't it? Right? And sometimes we can get caught up in our stinking thinking and go down a rabbit hole and find ourselves in forms of depression. And that's not what the holiday season is about. It's about joy and peace and love and communication. And I would just say this is a great time to dust yourself off, shake yourself up a little bit. And you know what? We get a chance to do it all over again. So with that, make sure that you mark your calendar to come and join me next Friday as we go to week 3 in our 7-week series to help you improve over the holidays. Thank you for being a part of it. And I always love the interaction, so make sure that you make that a part of our lives each and every Friday. So Friday at 10 o'clock, go over and subscribe on YouTube, enroll in our newsletter. And with that, we'll see you next week. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone.